Hey Bougie Clique. Are you humble or are you full of pride? The phrase "pride cometh before a fall" is a warning that excessive pride or arrogance often leads to one's downfall. It originates from the Bible, specifically Proverbs 16 verse 18, which states, "Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." Essentially, it means that overconfidence and hubris can lead to mistakes and failures. Humility is the quality of having a modest or low view of one's own importance. It involves recognizing and accepting one's limitations and being open to the perspectives and contributions of others. In essence, humility is about being grounded and not letting pride or arrogance take over. It allows for personal growth and better relationships because it encourages listening, learning, and empathy. Humble yourself. Many of us have been humbled by others because of their insecurity and jealousy. But how many times has your own pride humbled you? Pride, especially when excessive or unchecked, can have several negative effects. Arrogance and vanity. Excessive pride can lead to arrogance, where one believes they are superior to others. This can result in vanity and a lack of humility. Impaired relationships. Pride can make it difficult to show empathy, compassion, and kindness towards others. People may view someone with excessive pride as conceited or full of themselves, which can strain or damage relationships. Inability to learn and grow. When pride blinds us to our own faults and limitations, it prevents us from learning from our mistakes and seeking help when needed. This can hinder personal growth and development. Entitlement. Excessive pride can lead to a sense of entitlement, where one believes they deserve special treatment or privileges. This can cause significant disappointment and frustration when things don't go as expected. Isolation. Pride can alienate us from others, as people may feel offended or threatened by a prideful attitude. This can lead to social isolation and a lack of meaningful connections. Poor decision-making. Overconfidence stemming from pride can result in poor judgment and decision-making. When we overestimate our abilities, we might take unnecessary risks or make choices without considering potential consequences. While a healthy level of pride can boost self-esteem and motivation, it's important to balance it with humility and self-awareness to avoid these negative outcomes. You must remain humble in high positions, because with position comes opposition. It is not going to be easy to reach the top, and it's not going to be easy to stay there. Your character has to be right. You have to watch how you handle power. If God gives you a position, you have to be careful not to abuse your power. You have to watch how you treat people beneath, because if you do not, you might find yourself brought back down to their level. You have to know how to act when God exalts you. There is no stage in your life that you cannot still be a student. You do not know everything, and you never will. Until you can humble yourselves, you are not ready for success. You cannot be an effective leader if you cannot admit when you are wrong or listen to reason. You must be able to be corrected. Psalms 55 verse 19 says, "God will give ear and humble them, he who is enthroned from of old, Selah, because they do not change and do not fear God." You do not want God to have to humble you. There are two types of people in the world: the ones who think too much of themselves, or the ones who think too little. There are hardly any modest people who have a balanced view of themselves, acknowledging their strengths without boasting or feeling superior. Humility does not mean not knowing how good you are, it means not announcing it all the time and acting like you are more important than everyone else. Let your work speak for you. Everyone has his or her job, and the CEO cannot operate without the janitor. We are all equally important in our respective lanes. Yes, you may work hard, but if you believe that you got to the top by yourself, you are mistaken. Oftentimes people who are doing something great and find themselves put in a leadership position feel the need to defend themselves. If you are doing something great, you will have haters, it's a given, but no one should be able to put you in your feelings. There is a saying, "One monkey do not stop no show." Just because you have a few naysayers does not mean you are going to fail. No one can stop God from giving you what He wants you to have. Haters do not even need to be addressed, because their opinion does not matter, and you taking time out to check them makes them more important than they should be. Haters are going to get their 15 minutes of fame, but not on my time, because I am too focused on getting what God has for me to take time out of my busy schedule to address them. Colossians 4 verses 5-6 says, "Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man." Silence is golden, everyone does not deserve a reply. Sometimes when you reply to nonsense, you cause yourself to sin. If you are more worried about someone else and what they have to say, you are not focused enough. You should be so focused on God that you could not see a hater if they were standing right in front of you. New levels bring new devils. Do not let yourself become intimidated by failure or success. Some of us are scared to make it because of the pressure our new position will entail. Do not buckle under pressure, remain humble and work hard. Never put yourself so high on a pedestal that when something happens, and you are knocked down a peg, you give up. This isn't the first time you have failed, and it won't be the last, but the test is, are you going to get up? God needs resilient people. If you have given up now at this level and resorted back to which you used to be, there is no way you were going to be able to handle where God was trying to take you. Do not be afraid of failure, it makes you stronger as long as you do not let it keep you down. Trust in what God is doing in your life. James 4 verse 10 says, "Humble yourselves before the Lord and He will exalt you." When you are winning, people who do not even like you will testify to it. Orison Swett Marden said, "Success is not measured by what you accomplish, but by the opposition you have encountered, and the courage with which you have maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds." To me, this is saying it's not where you are at or where you are going, it is where you have been and how you got here. Psalms 25 verse 9. He leads the humble in what is right, and teaches the humble his way. Proverbs 27 verse 2. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thine own lips. What do you think? Are you humble? Let me know in the comment section. Stay bougie.